Welcome to WizThrift, your one-stop shop for all things mystical, magical, and fantastical. Hello everybody, my name is Colton, also known as WizThrift. I am here today with one of my friends, Kacey, from Firelight Fables. Kacey, could you give a little introduction of yourself?
For sure. Yeah. So my name is Kacey. I am the creator of Firelight Fables Candle Co. And these candles were born out of a desire to create a more immersive atmosphere when it comes to RPG gaming. I was running my own campaign at the time and really wanted my players to kind of feel like they were in the place that we were playing at. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll just make some candles that smell like the places that we are going. So that's how it started. And then from there, it's evolved a little bit. And I've created some other collections that are fun, just fantasy inspired collections. I'm trying to do seasonal collections as well. So we're wrapping up kind of a pirate lore themed collection for the summer. And then fall collection I'll be announcing here within the next month. But yeah, all the candles are non-toxic. I tried to find the best ingredients I could. I personally come from working in the health and wellness industry. And so it was really important to me to have candles that not only smelled good and people enjoyed, but were also healthy for your body. So yeah, non-toxic fantasy inspired candles.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have one right here. Let's go. I recently trimmed the wick, so it needs a second, but
well, that's good. Yeah. Some people don't know about the whole wick trimming thing.
Yeah, I didn't either, but I learned you have a very good instruction on how to. Oh, it actually burnt out. I think I trimmed it too short.
That's okay.
You have a very good instruction video and also amazing instructions on your packaging. So,
oh, thank you. Yeah, and they're all wood wick also, which is kind of fun because it adds another like ambiance aspect to the candles as well. I was surprised when I started having friends and family try them, how few people had tried a wood wick before. And it's really fun because if you haven't tried it, it crackles. And so, yeah, just adds an extra little element of ambiance to it.
Yeah, no, I love them. I was really surprised when you sent it to me because I was like gonna buy one, and then you're like, hey, one's coming for you. I'm like, whoa. So I'm very, very happy with it. It makes my study room smell much better. So,
oh, good. I'm glad.
Awesome. Well, so you said you started making the candles as a dungeon master. How did you get started into role-playing games or like TTRPGs?
Yes. So it's kind of like a weird starting point. I didn't know anyone that had ever played D&D, and I didn't have any family members that did, but my uncle got my dad a D&D like starter kit one year for Christmas, and my dad never ended up doing anything with it, but my sister stole it, and she learned how to play, and she had been watching like Critical Role, so kind of had an idea of what Dungeons and Dragons was about, and she took us through our first few games. So we just kind of did some one-shots here and there, and then over time I moved and didn't get to play very much for probably about a 1 to 2 year period. I just didn't know anyone in the new town that I lived in that played. And so when I finally moved back to Oregon and kind of settled here, I found some friends that played and quite a few people that had run games before. So I was able to play in kind of some longer like mini campaigns and stuff like that.
That's awesome. That's really cool. That's kind of funny that your uncle got your dad, then your sister stole it, then it got to you.
Yeah. And it was fun because the first game we played was like with my parents and my uncles and my sister. So it was like a total family thing. And we've all been like super nerdy growing up. So it was really fun for all of us.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I think it really is like the best game and really like I think it's a great family game. Not for my dad, he has the worst attention span of all time. But like I've gotten my sister, my mom, like my brother's into it. So I think it's great.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. My husband, he played one game with us and he looked miserable the whole time. Like it is not his thing at all. So it's nice that he has his hobbies and I have mine and we can kind of do our own thing. And
That's so true. So you said you started making the candles because you wanted to give your players a really immersive experience, but why candles? Like what exactly inspired you to use candles, not just like, go and buy some essential oils or something like that?
Yeah, so I've always been really crafty, and I've had experience in like entrepreneurship just because it's something I've enjoyed doing. So like in the past, I had my own like natural body care and wellness business that I sold at like farmers markets and handmade products. And my sister and I like sold at farmers markets. We would make jewelry when we were younger. So I knew I could like make a product, and I had experimented with making candles in the past just to have on my own.
Yeah.
And so when I was getting ready to DM my first session, I was like setting up for my players, and I was like, oh, it'd be so cool if it smelled like the dark forest that they were going to be in. And I had like some essential oils. So I tried to like find a diffuser that I had stored away somewhere, and I used the essential oils, but I didn't feel like it really like filled the room or did what I wanted it to do. And so at that point I was like, oh, well, candles would probably work. And I was like, I've made candles before. Like, why don't I just make exactly what I want? Yeah. And so a lot of the candle scents that I have in my storytelling collection, which was what I created kind of for D&D, but also people who want to read fantasy novels or like watch fantasy movies or just inspire creativity. Those candle themes actually came from a lot of the places within my homebrew world. So nice. I was like, well, I know I want to have this desert city that my players are going to be in. So I'm going to create the Desert Bazaar candle, or like the Dark Forest came from that like misty wood that my players were first playing in. So yeah, that's kind of like a neat little background tidbit, but that's why I decided to do candles.
That's fantastic. Now I have to ask, are you a wizard? Because like, how do you get these amazing scents into the actual candles? Like, that's always something that's baffled me about candles and how they can each smell so different and so unique. How do you do it?
Yeah, well, so are you asking like how I come up with the scents specifically, or like the mechanical making? The mechanical. Yeah. So it actually, when I first started making the candles, I did a lot of research and testing because I had made them before, but it's like the more you learn about something, the more you realize you don't know. Yeah. And so it was, there were so many other aspects to creating the candles and getting what they call a scent throw. So there's like a hot throw, which is how strong the candle basically smells when it's burning, and then a cold throw, which is how it smells when it's not burning. Okay. And cool. So there are things like your wick size, different like thickness of your wicks, the kinds of wax you use, what like the amount of fragrance that you choose to use in your candle, things like that I had no idea impacted the way your candle actually functions. And so I just did a bunch of research on it, and just kind of learned how to work with my wax, and joined Facebook groups and asked people who had used my wax questions, and they helped me kind of learn the way to make the candle smell as strong as possible. Yeah, so that's kind of how I learned to do it on the mechanical side. Gotcha. Because
I lit it like, I don't know, like 2 minutes ago, and it's already like filling up right now, and it's a very strong scent, but it's not too overpowering. It's a very, at least this one, the Ancient Library, is a very calming type of scent, is what for me personally.
And some of the fragrances I use, just different fragrances in the way that they're made, tend to be stronger and some tend to be weaker. And so some of the candles I have, like you take the lid off and you're like, whoa, that's really strong, which is nice because you can burn it in a bigger space and it'll fill up the space a little bit better. Where some of the other ones might be a little bit softer, which some people might like. They don't want, a really, really strong scent. So luckily there's a little bit of everything for everyone. And you can always adjust the room size that you use it in too, because if you burn like a really small candle in a big room, you may not smell it as much, versus if you're in an enclosed space, then it's probably going to be a bit stronger. So yeah, you can kind of just play around with it to get what you want.
Yeah, for sure. No, I like that a lot. So is this your full-time job? Is this something, or is this like a side gig?
So I transitioned to this being my full-time job in, I think it was March. Because I previously worked as a personal trainer and nutrition coach, and I had my own gym here in Oregon. And unfortunately, when COVID hit, I had to close down for months out of the year. Yeah. And just a lot of my clients weren't able, I worked with private clients in my own space. And so a lot of them weren't really sure at the time, how COVID was going to impact everyone, like what if you caught it, like what the effects were going to be. And so a lot of my clients just weren't even coming in at that point, which was good. That was when we all had to go into lockdown.
Yeah.
So at some point, I started this just as a hobby last fall. I was like, oh, this would be really fun. Maybe if people want to buy some candles for Christmas, I'll just make some extra cash. But then it kind of took off and people were really interested in the candles and the scents and really liked them. And I had a lot of fun doing it. So I just kind of kept it going and kept building it. And it got to the point where it's like, well, I'm making more money doing this than I am doing my personal training during COVID. So it made more sense for me to transition to this being full time.
Hello, everybody. This is editor 4 a.m. Wizard Robe Colton. And I am here to say that Firelight Fables, Kacey, she really does some fantastic stuff. I mean, this really gives off the vibe of going to an ancient library and really absorbing the books and entering that place on that adventure. And I just wanted to give a little more insight into how awesome Kacey is and her product is. And I'm not being paid for this. She did send me this candle and some other stuff, but this is me just saying, hey, her stuff is fantastic. You definitely need to look it up, check it out. And the prices are really actually not bad at all compared to other candles. I don't know if you're a candle person or if you've bought candles before, but some places will sell them for like $40-50. These candles, these smaller ones that are kind of like her sample ones, are like $14-15, and then for $30 you get an 8-ounce something candle, which double the price for more than double the candle. So it really is so worth it. Please go support her. She is really awesome. She's helping out other people, supporting other people. So if you could do that, it would mean the world to her, world to me. And thank you guys so much. This is not a paid sponsorship or anything. This is just a friend wanting to help out a friend. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Peace. Ancient Lab. That's fantastic. I mean, congratulations to you being able to go full time and like take a passion and really be able to run with it. Like that's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's been super great. And I loved personal training. That was really hard to stop, but it was hard to kind of transition to doing from doing one thing to the next in the same day, like back and forth. And it's really nice to have the flexibility of doing things on my own time. And my husband and I are also expecting a baby in January. So
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. So this will be really nice to have as like a flexible job, flexible schedule is needed.
That's super cool. Dang. Again, congratulations. That's really fantastic. Oh man.
Yeah, we're excited.
That's so cool. Awesome. Well, what is your favorite scent?
Oh my gosh. People ask me this and I'm like, oh, I don't know. There's so many that I really like, which I will actually say there are a few scents of mine that I don't really like that much.
Okay.
But like one of my summer scents has some like coconut notes in it, and I do not like coconut at all, but people were asking for that. So I had to ask a bunch of like family and friends that liked coconutty smells. Like, can you smell this and tell me if it smells good?
Yeah.
But for the most part, I like pretty much all my candles. Ancient Library is one of my favorites. Realm of the Fae, I actually really like a lot. When I was first adding some more candles to my storytelling collection, I'd asked a lot of people, like, what D&D settings would you be interested in? And quite a few people said the Feywild. And so this candle was kind of designed to try to capture what maybe like the magical Feywild would smell like.
Yeah.
So I love that one. And surprisingly, like Verdant Jungles is another one that people don't necessarily like gravitate towards right away, but I'll send samples and they'll get it and be like, oh my gosh, Verdant Jungles is like my new favorite. So I personally really love that scent. So I just have to get everyone else trying it to get on board. But yeah, those are probably some of my top favorites.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, it's actually good that you have ones that you don't necessarily like, because like you mentioned earlier, everybody has different like senses and different noses. So I mean, you know, one for me may be one that somebody else doesn't like, but and vice versa.
Yeah, like I always tell people they'll be smelling my candles, and I can tell, like friends and family, and I can tell when people don't really like it one that much, and they're trying to be nice. I'm like, it doesn't hurt my feelings if you don't like, you know, some of my candles, because everybody does have different noses and different preferences. So yeah, I'm not like upset if it's not for you.
Well, as long as they're not like throwing up or passing out, I think it's probably okay.
Yeah,
For sure. Awesome. Well, as somebody who is a candle novice, as myself, what would be a good starting scent for somebody who doesn't know like anything about candles, or just like, oh, I just want something that smells good?
Yeah, well, so it just kind of depends on what you're going for, really. Like I have the storytelling collection, which those are scents based on like specific places. So like I have, you know, sort of an ocean themed one, a jungle themed one, a tavern themed candle. So if you're just starting out, like really any of those are good. It's more like where do you want to immerse yourself in? And then I have other collections that are just fun as well. Like I have one right now that's 4 candles all based on like mythical creatures. Nice. And those ones are a little bit more fun. They're like really colorful and have gemstones and stuff in them.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah. And so some of those candles are a little bit sweeter, or they would smell less like a place and maybe more like an actual candle you might find at the store.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I think the storytelling collection is a great place to start. Rustic Tavern is just a really fun one too. That's just kind of, you know, a general place that any fantasy lover can hopefully connect with, especially if you're into D&D.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would more just say, tell me what you're looking for, and I'll give you some suggestions.
Okay, no, that's awesome. I mean, I chose Ancient Library because like I love books. I love reading. I love I love going to bookstores because books have their own scent, and it's just like I just love being around that atmosphere, and so that's why I wanted this one. But I love the idea that, I don't know, just Firelight Fables is just a really cool name, and just like your slogan and like everything that you do, the theme is so like I can't think of any words other than just awesome and so fitting. And it's
thank you.
It's such a unique niche that I think I haven't seen before. And so I think you are just like, you're on top of the market for this specific thing.
Well, thank you. Yeah. And it's been really fun. I mean, when I was first creating it, I wanted people to be like super excited to get my packages and be excited every time. So I try to send new fun things, even with every collection. Like this next fall, I have some fun little goodies I'll be sending that have to do with like the fall theme. And just like the little scrolls and goodies like that. I know those are things I would enjoy getting, and I wanted to go over the top like for my customers as well. So they're just really pumped to get their orders.
Yeah, no, like I mentioned before, your presentation of the boxes is fantastic. The scrolls, the little key, the wax seal. I love the box, like the Tolkien quote on it. Like it's all so good. Thank you. I think you've kind of mastered how to make a good box.
Well, I'm glad, because it's gone through a lot of phases of figuring out how to get to this point, and make it all work and try to make it as cheap as possible when it comes to shipping and things like that for people. So yeah, I appreciate you saying that.
For sure. Well, one of my last questions is, are there any scents or little projects coming up that you can share about?
Yes. So, well, I don't know how much I can share, but so the fall collection is coming, and I've kind of I had some ideas about what I wanted to do and reached out to, I have like a Facebook group, and just try to get people's opinions on like what kind of scents they're looking for, and, certain themes like would be interesting to people. So the fall collection is coming. I will say I am bringing back a candle called Autumn Woods that people really loved last year. And it looks somewhat similar to like the storytelling candles, like the Ancient Library candle, but it's a little bit more colorful, and it'll be a bit bigger because I want the seasonal candles to come in a bigger size for people. So that is coming back. Lots of people are excited about that. And then as far as the fall collection, What can I say that doesn't give too much away? I've been sharing little like snippets of some of the candle scents and things like that on my Instagram story. So if you're interested in maybe getting some more of those little snippets before it launches, you can follow me there on Instagram. But yeah, I don't want to say too much yet.
That's okay. Whenever I talk to somebody about when they have their own project or business, I always try to get a little something out of them.
Hey, that's fair. I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Kacey, your candles are amazing. Your presentation is just on point and out of this world. And I wanted to thank you so much, one, for sending me the candles and just the amazing box, and also, again, for sitting down with me and taking the time out of your day to talk to me about this. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It's always fun to get a chat about my candles and D&D too.
No,
so.
I love hearing how passionate people are about just storytelling, D&D, and just making new friends. This community is just, it's so kind and generous and nice. So
yeah, I agree. It's incredible. I didn't really realize until I started, diving into this and interacting with people more. I made so many awesome friends just by talking to people on Instagram. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, like you were talking about with DM Smudge, like we call each other in text like every day now. Like we've become such good friends just because we just both love this game and just storytelling in general.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and that's how we met, is through him. So I mean, hey, there you go.
Thanks, Smudge. Shout out.
Shout out to Smudge. He's awesome. Oh, sweet. Well, Kacey, what do you want to shout out? I have an idea, but let's hear it from your mouth.
Oh, like shout out, like final tips or thanks you, or shout out to someone. What kind of shout out?
Whatever you want. Your products, people, your husband, your mom, your dad, whatever you want.
Oh my goodness. I'll shout out to my sisters really quickly because my youngest sister was the one that got me into D&D, and they are, my closest companions when it comes to our gameplay and being super into it. So shout out to them. Oh man, shout out to so many people. Oh, I'm just thinking of like Jay at Jay's Tabletop Terrain, Barbarian Barbie, my friend at her podcast. There's just like Smudge, got to play with him 2 weekends ago for the first time. Amazing GM, DM, whichever system you're playing in. So I don't know, shout out to lots of people. And if you're interested in candles, you can find me at Firelight Fables on Instagram or Facebook, and then my website is just firelightfables.com, and feel free to message me and just say hi because I love chatting with people.
Or if you just want some awesome products and to support an artist, she's there too. So there you go.
For sure.
Awesome.
Well, what was your idea for the shout out? You said you had
I don't know. I thought you were going to shout out your products, but hey, shouting out people is really cool too.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, thank you so much. This has been super fun, and it's always great to get a chat. So thanks.
Awesome. Well, again, Kacey, thank you. It's been awesome, and I hope you have a fantastic day.
It's late in the day.
Yeah,
just
I'm
got
tired.
off work.
No, there's no excuse. Anyway, okay. Bye, Kacey. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks.
Bye.